It just had to be Tiger Woods. Who else would even think about declining a 9-figure contract? And when we first heard about it, we were absolutely shocked. It's evident that the Saudi-backed LIV Golf Tour is willing to throw some serious money to get the biggest names in golf. Keep watching this video as we're going to tell you everything about the huge contract and more of what's happening in the world of golf. First up, a deal of a lifetime? When it comes to golf, the PGA Tour is without a doubt the biggest event there is. Nothing even comes close to matching the level of competition and entertainment at the PGA. But LIV Golf, a new tour backed by Saudi Arabia, is being pushed aggressively to compete against the evergreen PGA Tour. How successful it's going to be, we're not sure. But has it been successful in making headlines? Definitely. In an interview with Kent Babb of the Washington Post, LIV Golf CEO Greg Norman was heard saying that Tiger was offered a mind-blowingly enormous deal. We're talking 9 figures, zeros on zeros, a jaw-dropping $1 billion to get Tiger Woods to play the LIV Golf Tour. So, when we told you only someone like Tiger could turn down a 9-figure contract, we weren't messing around. Even though it sounds like the deal of a lifetime, money isn't something new for Tiger. He's played at the very top for countless years, and his endorsements and off-court deals have kept the money flowing. Although, when you think about it, Tiger has been playing golf for almost 26 years, and throughout that long professional journey, he's managed to make over $1.5 billion. So, we're pretty sure it wasn't like the other deal Tiger gets showered with on the regular. He had the option to earn more than half of his career earnings through a single contract. The golfing legend probably had his reasons to decline a life-altering contract though. But we gotta give credit to Greg Norman. The guy was willing to throw $1 billion just to get the LIV Golf Tour on its way. And while a lot of professional golfers have gotten deals to play the new tour, none of them come near to what Tiger was offered. Next, loyalty to the PGA Tour. Remember how we told you Tiger must have his reasons for declining a $1 billion contract? Well, believe it or not, he only has one reason, and that reason is loyalty. Woods says that he isn't particularly fond of new tours, and if the topic of discussion is money, he thinks there's plenty of it out there. But if you're into legacies, big sporting events, opportunities, and historical comparisons, the PGA Tour is the place to be. And the fact that Tiger is so interested in leaving behind a legacy is the main reason why he's so loyal to the PGA Tour. It sort of makes sense, you know. The LIV Golf Tour is a new event in the golf world. Sure, there's a lot of money to be made, but no one really knows whether the tour will take off. Signing a couple of big names doesn't necessarily mean a good tour. The feeling of playing in a legacy tour like the PGA has a different ring and feel to it. But anyway, let's not run away from the truth. Signing Tiger would have really changed things for the LIV Golf Tour. Maybe that's why Greg Norman wasn't afraid of throwing $1 billion at Woods. And keep in mind that the biggest offer other than Tiger's was in excess of $100 million. We're not saying it's a small amount, but it's peanuts compared to what Tiger was offered. So Greg knew what would make the tour successful, but he failed at making it a reality. At the end of the day, you can put a price tag on everything except for loyalty. Kudos to Tiger for staying true to his legacy. And now, what's really going on? Even if Tiger wanted to play in the LIV Golf Tour, well, guess what? He couldn't. PGA Tour Commissioner Jay Monahan said that any player who decides to play for the LIV Golf Tour might be suspended, and in the worst-case scenario, banned from playing golf. And forget the actual tour. Jay even denied releases for players to club some ball at the LIV Golf Tour's inaugural event in London. Alright, there were two things. Either the PGA Tour has never faced such a strong competitor before, or everyone just hates Greg Norman and the LIV Tour. And honestly speaking, we're not sure which one it is. The management at LIV has been working really hard though. It does help a lot when you can buy your way out of anything, like how record holder Jack Nicklaus was offered over $100 million by the Saudis to do jobs similar to what Greg is doing. And even though most players have held their loyalty to the PGA Tour, we have been noticing a slight competition already in the making. So when Jack Nicklaus said that LIV is nothing special and his loyalty remains with PGA, Greg was quick to call him a hypocrite, stating that this is the same guy who said LIV will be good for our game. Norman also went off at Rory McIlroy for saying that LIV is nothing to get too excited over. He said that Rory has been brainwashed by the monopolists at PGA. Anyway, we have to understand that Greg is the CEO of LIV now, and anyone who takes a shot at the new tour better be ready to take a few hits in return. All this makes us imagine how the dynamics would have changed if Tiger said yes. Next, in other related news, the Rebel League. So at this stage, anyone who opts to play in the LIV League is being considered as a rebel, but we think being called a rebel is a very small price to pay when compared to $280 million. Yep, where Tiger declined $1 billion contract, golfing legend Phil Mickelson rose up to the occasion and accepted a really lucrative contract worth $280 million. And what's really controversial about Mickelson's entry in the LIV Tour is what he had to say about it back in February. The six-time major winner took to Twitter and first criticized the PGA and then took a shot at the Saudi backers of the LIV Tour. He didn't really say much about the PGA, but his comments on the Saudi backers landed him in some serious trouble. He called them scary, as they had a horrible record on human rights. We don't really know where that came from, or maybe he knows something we don't. But either way, we're guessing it wasn't too serious compared to $280 million. And now, backfired. And just in case you thought that Phil Mickelson was the only golfer to pick LIV over the PGA, you were wrong. Kevin Na, who has over 450 starts at the PGA, recently announced his retirement from the tour to join the Saudi-backed LIV. We don't know how much Kevin is going to be paid, but we're sure it's a lot since it made him retire from the PGA. And if you ask us, we think a lot of it has to do with the subtle threats put forward by Jay Monahan. Kevin commented how retiring from the PGA was one of the hardest decisions he's ever made, but he had no choice since the current policies don't allow him to exercise his right as a professional golf player. In other words, Kevin meant that he wouldn't sit around in fear of Jay's threats, and instead, he'll do what he wants. He'll go where there's money. And if you put it like that, it doesn't sound too bad, right? Finally, it's not all good. We could go on and on about players making headlines for joining the LIV League, but it's only fair to give you both sides of the story. Where a lot of big names are joining the Saudi-backed tour, Chief Commercial Officer Sean Bratches resigned from his role due to some controversial comments made by CEO Greg Norman. Apparently, most of it has to do with the heartbreaking murder of Saudi journalist Jamal Khashoggi. Norman called the murder a mistake and told journalists how they need to fix these mistakes going forward. It didn't sit too well with journalists, the golfing world, and his partner Sean Bratches. And with Sean gone, it takes away a lot of credibility from the team. But still, the LIV has a lot of big names backing it. Just recently, former President of the United States Donald Trump encouraged players to join the LIV League without any hesitation. Honestly speaking, we think it's pretty good for the sport. Competition is good, but the PGA management shouldn't take the LIV as such a big threat, you know? Same with how things are being made political. It's just a golf tour. Relax, guys. That's it from our side, folks. So what do you think? Did Tiger do the right thing by declining a $1 billion contract? Will the LIV Golf Tour be able to take on the PGA? Let us know what you think in the comments below. Remember, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel for more exciting videos in the future. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.